Morning YouTube. So in this video today I want to take you with me on just an average day as a UK self-employed gardener. And today is a rainy day, and maybe that is just indicative of being a UK gardener. It's certainly balanced. I'd say for the last 5 or 6 weeks it's definitely felt like this, but then we might have, you know, the equal amount of time where it just feels like it's sunny and the sun's never going to go away. That's what it feels like at the moment. So I'm on the way to the storage place. I've got to drop off a blower because I don't need the backpack blower. I used that on one of the commercial jobs yesterday. So in this video I'm probably just going to show you like a little bit of footage from each garden if I can, and if it's appropriate in each sort of job. I think I've got 5 jobs on today. They're all small jobs, luckily. It's small maintenance jobs, and I'll talk about each one, or sort of show you each one. So it's not going to be much footage from each one, but the variety, as I'd say, it's mainly grass and garden maintenance. Each property's got a lawn. There's one mow and go which I'll show you later on, so there's that, but it's just mainly sort of mixed maintenance work. And with these properties, it's the brief is to keep them to sort of a certain standard, you know, just keep them looking nice, but it's one of them where I sort of use my judgment, and basically, you know, what can be sort of left for another week gets left, because there's certain times, so I'll do all the shrubs at one hit sort of thing, or if they all grow differently I'll just do each one as and when. Basically what I'm saying is that you know, if you spot something that I've missed, it's a case of, well, you know, there's normally a reason for that. It just gets left till another week. So I'm at the storage place, so we will get the blower unloaded. So yeah, that's the blower. Storage container is definitely filling up. The clothes rack with the weed killer holding it up, very professional. So yeah, it's all sort of coming together. I will do a tour at some point of what we've got. This is the load up for today. So Ego mower, 2 fully charged batteries, still roller mower, which normally gets shunted across a little bit more. That'll be used today because it's wet. Don't think we'll spray many weedies. The ton bags go in that little space under there, and I will do that when the mower's out. So 2 ton bags over there. The little truck thing and the fridge, that's always sort of lives there. Petrol, and this thing, this, believe it or not, is a bane of my life, because there's nowhere it gets stuffed that I can't grab it easy, but it takes up so much room and it ends up getting snarled up on everything. And honestly, I think I'm just going to shove it on the roof. It really winds me up. If it goes there, it gets snarled up. If it goes there, it gets snarled up. So anyway, next part. Right, off to the first job then. First job is what I would class as the quintessential, just general garden maintenance. It's front lawn, it's back lawn, a few borders, for a nice little old lady. She's been on the books now for a couple of years, and it is basically as straightforward as it can get, but it's one of them where it's yeah, I'll do this actually. It's one of them where it's straightforward. She's happy with it, you know, and we have this where we have gardens where we're happy with what we do, the customer's happy, but a couple of times she said, like, my son said that the garden's ever so messy, and these comments have arisen during the where it was very growing very quickly, and it was one of them where it was sort of keeping on, just sort of struggling to keep on top of it. As I said, the customer's happy with it, you know, but it's one of them where you'll mow it and then you'll come back 10 days later, so you'll come back 2 weeks later and it'll look like it hasn't been mowed for a good while. The customer's fine with it, the customer's understanding, but you know, the son sees it like 2 days before I'm supposed to be coming, because I come on a Monday, he come on a weekend, and he comments, and my comment is actually, oh, didn't your son offer to get the mower out? Oh no, he wouldn't do that, he doesn't do anything, he just moans about my garden. So yeah, it's stuff like that that you learn to sort of get thick skin to, because otherwise it just winds you up. So as I said, off to the first one. It's the first job, put the fridge on, I'll put my dinner in, and yes, so this is the first job, just cutting the garden. I'll show you the back in a little bit, nice and straightforward. But dinner today is rice I made yesterday with plenty of veggies and chicken, some cookies that are like 100 calories that don't taste like biscuits, and apparently it's a fibre bar, but I think it's like for a hamster or something. But yeah, low calorie. I'm trying to lose weight. So yeah, that's the first one. We'll show you the back, and yes, it is pissing down, so what a good start. So we're halfway through. It's rainy, you know what time it is. Cup of tea, 2 years I've been here, and it's always been in the same mug. Brilliant. Right, so that's the first job done. The jacket is already wet through. I have got spares, but days like this can be very sort of mentally tasking. Now I've got a full week. I could put off a couple of the jobs, but you know, I've still got a full-ish day, so I want to get it done. But the rest of the week is fine. So for me, and this is what I do sometimes I will just think, right, you know, I'll put them off till the other days. But days like this where it's on and off, I just try and plough through it. So the rest of the day, I think after dinner it's getting better. There was at one point where it just bucketed it down, so I just took cover and had my cup of tea. And this is why I say to you, don't refuse a cup of tea, because it's pissing down, it's crap weather, and you know, just 30 seconds having a cup of tea out of a horse mug, just, you know, it warms you up, it makes you take a little bit of a break. I know it's only 10:30 in the morning, you know, it's not like we've been slogging the guts out for hours, but still, it's something. So I'm off to the next job. I will quickly, in between jobs, I don't know if I'll talk after every job, but as I said, this is a day with me, so to speak. You can hear it coming down now, but this is why I see the benefit in having good quality equipment. I can work just as efficiently. So that lawn, it picked up just as well with that mower as it would if it was dry. I wouldn't have put the Ego mower on that, it would have been a bit too wet for it. But it stripes nice. Yes, one of them did have a slight kick to the left, but I've been told that that's good. But as I said, having the kit makes a difference. I remember when I used to have like a little Mountfield mower, and that was a nightmare in the rain, and it was just a bloody ball ache. And this is why I always choose the plastic grass box mowers, because you know, we've had a lot of rain, and I'd hate something that doesn't bag properly. It just slows you down. So I didn't take a picture of the front garden, but that looked just as good, to be fair. I just did the grass on that. So yeah, this is the theme of the video. If I remember, I will. You might see more before than afters, because you know, the joys of being a YouTuber, you know, it's trying to do the work and also trying to film it. But I do want to give you a sort of a blow by blow sort of ups and downs, trials and tribulations of just an average gardener. And to be fair, it's giving nice weather for the rest of the week, so You know, this is hopefully an isolated thing, but you know, we get a lot of days like this, so I just want to show you. So have a good day, guys. So yeah, rain stopped, lawn, border. I'm going to cut these down because they're starting to look a bit messy. And I use a hedge trimmer. I know it's probably not the most, you know, best way, but it works for me. So yeah, lawn, hedge, border, nice and simple, and the back as well. So yeah, diddy lawn, bit of border. This is 2 weeks growth, so I will alter the visit, but I'll explain that in a bit. So yeah, all done for this one. Off to the next. So all done. Stripes don't come out good on small lawns with big mowers, but it's cut and it's done. So next one. So again, nice and simple. Just cutting the grass on this one. Next one. So this one, again, nice and straightforward. Lawn. Whoa. This does have very tight access, so this is the ego job today. And lawn and border. And the hedge, I do that a couple of times a year. It's not ready for that yet, but yeah, lawn and border. So yeah, see you in a bit. So this is my biggest gripe with the ego mower. Is in, there's a little flappy bit. Yes, I know it's broken, but this is one lawn, and it bags it, but it sticks all underneath. And as soon as you go onto the customer's drive, it drops everywhere, and it only does this in the rain. So that's why I'd never ever recommend it as the perfect mower. But other than that, it's not bad. We have to babysit it. So yeah, still raining. So it's still raining, as you can imagine. But again, this is another thing. So I've done this lawn. Sorry for the spinny. And then it just really likes to fill the underneath of the deck. It did stop bagging once, and I had to unclog it. But the thing is that you have to do this every lawn because it will drop grass. And as you can imagine, it's super annoying. The whole point of investing in kit is speed and productivity. And I know it's an unfair comparison, but none of the still mowers do this. They do to the extent as in, you know, I'm not saying that they don't get grass stuck underneath, but never this much, and never where they'll clog and it'll affect performance. Now this mower is a mulching mower, but it hasn't got the power or whatever to efficiently mulch. So if it does clog and you don't notice it, you'll have green smears, and it hasn't got the power to pick them up, so then the lawn looks messy. That's the only problem. So we'll carry on. So we're all done. Still raining. It's very tight access. So yeah, now I think when you're working in the rain, the hardest thing is tidy up, and I've said this before, is tidy up's a little bit harder because it's sticky. But I think to try and keep it tidy, to keep grass off things is the key, because let's face it, it's hard enough convincing some people, you know, that you need a gardener, especially when it rains. So next one. Right, we're on the last job of the day. It's 1:30. I reckon this last job will take me about an hour. A few things I want to talk about is, for one, the weather is not the best. Some people might say, well, have the day off, but my sort of philosophy has always been, I'd rather do a little bit in the rain than, you know, nothing at all. Because then it just keeps money coming in, you know. it's just little dribbles of money. Even if it's not much, even if it's a full day, you've always got money coming in every single day then. Another thing, it keeps customers conditioned, and this sounds horrible or strange, but I used to have a real struggle, and I can't imagine it's just me, but other people, of keeping people into the habit that this gardener works in the rain. That's one of the hardest things I do, and even on new quotes, fresh quotes, I will always tell the customer I will be there if it's raining. I'll make that call. You know, I've invested in the kit that allows me to work in the rain, and you guys are seeing the results. You still can, you can do it productive. All my kit's cordless, and I'll be honest with you, I probably should, if it's super heavy, I'll put it under cover, but by and large that kit's been rained on all day, and you know, touch wood, there's been no problems with it. I've left it out in worse showers, so if people are wondering about cordless gear and wet weather, it can be done. I think when you're working in this weather, an eye for detail. So for me, I don't rush it, I don't hurry it, I don't get it done quick because it's raining. You know, I work at the same speed. If I'm being, well, I only have one speed anyway, you know, do I look like a speedy guy? But you know what I mean. And I'll tell you why, if customers see me rushing and I make a mistake, it's another nail in the coffin when I next say to them that I want to work in the rain, or I'll be turning up in the rain, because customers might think, oh well, he rushed because it's raining, or, and like I said in the last little segment, I think, you'll never get every single blade of grass off a patio, but you don't want to be leaving grass behind and stuff behind, because again, it's another thing that the customer will notice. And not every customer will say to you, hey, you know, last time you come when it was raining, you know, it was a bit messy outside, there was grass everywhere, or you'd left footprints. You know, what they'll actually do is they'll fester on it, and then they'll sort of just say a blank no to when you next say about coming when it's raining. And you know, I know it sounds like teaching you suck eggs, but this is something that I've had to sort of deal with over the years, is conditioning people to work in the rain. Another thing is the good old Ego mower. As you can see, it mows, it does the job, it still leaves an okay cut, if I'm being honest with you, but it's the bagging issue, and it's the bane of my life with that mower. That is the one thing with that mower that stops me from recommending it, is that, and I think I said it was when it was raining, but I don't know if I did properly, I clean that deck in between every lawn. Now when it's dry, it never does it, never have a problem when it's dry, but when it's wet, it will clog the underneath of the deck. And you can see the first lawn I did, that was just from that lawn. That mower was clean, well, clean-ish as in all the visible stuff had scraped off before it had gone back into the van. So that was a tiny lawn, a postage stamp lawn, where I'd say, and I've said this before, it's like as if it will fill the underneath of the deck first, and then it will start to bag. So that was scraped off again, all visible grass scraped off, and I actually get the blower, and that means I'm not dropping grass on that customer's drive. It's a nice drive, you know, and it shows up. And then the second time I scraped it was his back garden, so a little bit bigger, and I think it's with cutting low. I don't think, to be fair, it could be that it's just not getting enough airflow, I don't know. Or it could be that the bag, you know, the bag looks clear and you can still see through it. You know, it's not like the bag's clogged up or anything. I think it's just the Ego mower, if I'm being honest with you. So again, I had to scrape it that second time. And if you don't scrape it, what will happen is when you go onto the patio, you'll be dropping all that grass, and it just comes off in massive clumps. And then trying to clean it up, it's just a nightmare. It really is, and that's the thing. What really puts me off that mower. Anything else with that mower is good. It's nice and light, it's a lovely mower to use, but that's it. So that's a bit of review for you as well. And I've just had those little chocolate cookie things. I am trying to be more healthy. I've said this at the start of the year, but every fat bloke, you know, they're always trying, but this time I'm trying. So we'll see how it goes, but they did taste a bit cardboardy, so maybe it's all the nutrients, who knows. So last one, and then I'll give you a final breakdown. So this one, nice and simple. A little bit of lawn. This is garden maintenance again. Tickle over a few of them shrubs in the corner, just box them off. Lawn, bit of border work. Lawn. And then the hedge has just got a few little wispy bits. Oh, hello horse. Few little wispy bits on the hedge. You know, I know. But, you know, just nip them off. They're tiny. But yeah, so yeah, nice little property. Last one of the day. Well, we'll see. So we're halfway through. Nearly done now. Lawns and hedge and little wispy bits have been taken off. And it's time for another cup of tea. So, I'll show you in a bit. So, all done. I always take the mug back to the customer. But yeah, tidy. She wants a little bit off the acer, just off the top. And then the hedge, discuss this later. But just get this skittered over, literally a teacup come off it. But it's all tidy. So, all done. Right, so that's done for the day, guys. It's all sort of wrapped up. Now, the last job I did mention about cutting the hedge. Now, it's one of them where I personally don't think it needed anything off it, but the customer is sort of very fixated with this hedge. She had somebody cut it, and me personally, I don't really think it's too bad. Even when I first got to it, she said the previous people who'd cut it had cut it all wavy and up and down and, you know, stuff like that. And me personally, I didn't think it was too bad. You know, it was one of them that it was what it was, basically. But you'll see with the hedge, it's just got a slight curve, and it's just how it grows. And since I've been with her for 2 years now, and since day one, she's only just stopped, you know, accepted it. But she wants it boxed in perfect, like perfectly level. And the thing is, if you stand at the bottom of a garden, you can hardly see it. And then if you stand at the top, it looks a bit sort of, you know, wavy, you know. And from her window, it looks actually really decent. So it's the hedge has been a sticking point with her ever since. She's very fussy about it. As I said, she wanted me to cut it. It took me 2 minutes with the hedge trimmer. You know what I mean? I personally don't think it needs it, but it's keeping people happy. You know, it's just keeping them. It's keeping them happy, and that's it. This is the run of the day stuff. What you have to deal with all the time as a self-employed gardener. It's balancing your business needs and your needs with customers' needs, and then often cases customers sort of like quirks, shall I say. So we're all done now. I'm off. I am actually it's 2:45 now, so I started the first job at about 9:45. So what's that? You can see mental cogs. 5 hours. Yeah, so 5 hours, 5 jobs. I think 5 jobs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think it's 5 jobs I've done. So yeah, that's it. So roughly an hour per job, you know, give it to it isn't, but yeah, that's what it pans out. I won't tell you what each job was, because it's, you know, it's no use to anybody. It's pointless information. But yeah, I'm happy with it. Now I am actually off to another job, and I don't think I've mentioned it, and I'm thinking about doing a video on it, but I'm not thinking about doing a video on it, but I will mention it as I've took a house clearance on. It's a bit morbid really, but I took a house clearance, and that's why I don't want to include it in a video, in case anybody knows the person in question or has got any connection. I know it's a slim chance, but I think there's been a bit of disruption with the will, and from what I've heard off the neighbours, he was a difficult person, but he still had family, and basically I think he's cut all them out of the will. I know, yeah, it's a bit sort of thingy, and it's a shame really, because, well, as I say, I won't go into it, but it's a shame. But that aside, it's extra work for me and my business, and days like this, admittedly, if it was a worse day than what it's been, I would have sacked off this morning because I knew in the afternoon it was giving it better, I would have sacked off this morning and I would have gone and done a morning at this house clearance place, basically throwing stuff in a skip. That's as skilled as it is. It's monkey work. I'm picking stuff up and I'm throwing it in a skip. Nice and simple work. But with having this and the flexibility of nobody being there, nobody really caring when I'm, you know, what time I actually go, it's good. I just bill it, you know, after each session, so it's nice and easy. It's just topping up the old pot. That's how I see it. So thanks for watching, guys. If this video has been interesting to you and you want me to do more of them, I actually quite enjoy doing video. I'll never ever show me gardening because I haven't got time to be ticking around. You know, I've forgot a few after pictures, I think, doing it anyway. So I haven't got time to be doing loads of sort of after stuff and like filming me mowing and stuff, and I don't find it interesting, if I'm being honest with you. You know, I bought a load of mounts and I remember doing a video and it was just one of them where, with a GoPro actually, and I edited it all, and you know, and maybe, you know, for use it for B-roll, but as I said, let me know if you want to watch, if you like the talking videos, would you rather it be me facing me with all my sort of peculiar eye twitches, and you know, I always get an itchy nose when I'm talking. Would you prefer this, or would you prefer, say, B-roll where I basically do a voiceover of talking a subject but watching me sort of mowing a lawn? You know, well, it'd be like first person view basically. So have a good day, guys. Keep on gardening.